Well, more than a century after an impactful meeting with President Calvin Coolidge, we're learning more about a Cherokee woman who helped fight for civil rights for all Native people. News on 6's Tess Maune is here this morning to share a little bit about Ruth Muskrat Bronson and her preview of her in-depth story that airs tomorrow night. Good morning.
Good morning again.
I know. We were just with each other on the 8 o'clock hour. Boy, tell us about Ruth Muskrat Bronson. I kind of previewed your story. This is very interesting.
So it is interesting because she is the great-great-niece of Jennifer Lauren, who, of course, is a former News on 6 anchor. So I have been somewhat familiar with Ruth's story for quite some time because of Jennifer. She has shared the story with us. So Ruth Muskrat is a Cherokee woman, or was a Cherokee woman, Cherokee and Irish. She grew up in Grove, or is from Grove, and she spent her whole life fighting for civil rights for Native American and education and health for Native Americans across the country.
Why was it so important that she went up to D.C.? I mean, we saw the picture in the tease of her with President Coolidge. Why was that such a big moment?
Well, first of all, her father was Cherokee. Her mother was Irish, and she had seen that her father was treated differently than her mother and others who weren't Native American. And so she was part of a group called the Committee of 100, which really advised on Native American policies. And she went up with the group to meet with Calvin Coolidge, President Coolidge, in 1923. And this is the dress that she was wearing when she met with the president, and she gave a speech, and she was there to talk about the Indian problem that the world was talking about, the Indian problem. She wanted to share what the Indian problem really was from the perspective of Native Americans. And she wore this beautiful buckskin dress. It's not a Cherokee dress, and it was meant to be that way. She was there to represent all Native Americans in this speech. And she was just really saying, we want basic civil rights.
That's amazing. A lot of our viewers are saying, well, hey, what's the deal with PBS Antiques Roadshow? Because there's this part of this story that didn't make it into Thursday night special. I really wanted you to share this.
Yeah, so Jennifer took the dress that her family had. It had been, passed down generation to generation. And Jennifer's mother has been keeping the dress all of these years. And she took it to Antique Roadshow along with the moccasins and a copy of what's believed to be the original speech that she made to President Calvin Coolidge. And really it was more just to share the history. Jennifer wasn't looking to sell the dress.
Right.
And it turns out that, if it didn't have this wonderful story and history behind it, the dress and the moccasins and the speech would have been worth about $1,800. But with that impactful history that comes along with it, it made it worth the value up to $12,000. But of course, Jennifer and her family feel it's priceless, and just last month they gifted the dress and the moccasin and the speech to the Cherokee Nation.
Yeah, it's just a fascinating story. I think you're really going to enjoy it when you watch it Thursday night at 9 and 10. One last thing, just kind of a big picture thing. What do you think is the future of Ruth's story and her potential impact as more people hopefully learn about her?
Well, I think that the whole idea for Jennifer and her family in donating the things to the Cherokee Nation is that there's an opportunity to share this story with more people and to show that, this Cherokee woman at a time when Cherokee women and men alike were being discriminated against was brave enough to go to Washington, D.C. and to say, hey, we deserve to be treated just like anybody else. And 7 months after that meeting with President Coolidge, the Native American Citizenship Act was signed into law. And the family and the Cherokee Nation believes that that visit that Ruth made with the president on that day in 1923 is a big reason why he signed that.
101 years ago, and now you're learning more of this story. That is coming up tomorrow. Tess's special report. Again, I've had a chance to watch it, preview it. Great job.
Thank you. I haven't even seen it yet.
I know. It's on at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, and then 10 o'clock here on Channel 6. Thank you, Tess, and I hope people really get something out of this.
Yeah, I think they definitely will.